The community comes together to celebrate the development of a nature preserve on Rockford's east side. Severson Dells Nature Center hosted a free event at the former Elliott Golf Course, which will eventually be transformed into a restored nature preserve. Participants of all ages helped seed the prairie by hitting golf balls into the open land, which doubled as seed bombs. Other guests enjoyed the hands-on education stations on the restoration process soon to take place on the property.
Illinois has less than 1% of its prairies left, which means we're lacking a lot of the services they used to be able to provide for us. So having a prairie restoration means that we're bringing this historical landscape back to Rockford, and we're having the first 50 acres of the prairie restored starting actually in a couple of days.